What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BeawCast. And today's a special one because I got my best friend, business partner, longtime homie.
That's so cute.
Ride or die motherfucker.
I like when you say best friend.
Best friend, brother, and friend.
Yeah. Here
That's
today.
my best friend.
And that's why it's special because we don't usually have like the close friends, but then we got the closest friend.
Yeah.
So I think it's super cool. And also like there are times where like people always ask all the time like, oh, are you gonna bring Joe on? But then it's like, because I already have all the conversations with you, it's weird to like pretend to talk about something
100%.
in the public.
Yeah,
you know?
we hang out and talk every fucking day.
Yeah.
So then when it comes on to it feels weird.
It feels weird to like repeat a conversation that you had.
Yeah, I even asked Bart yesterday. I was like, "What are we gonna ask Joe?" Because I'm like, I don't talk to you as much, but I get it
we
through
hate each
him.
other, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I get it through him, so I get the amount that I need to, and then I talk to Jess, and then I get her thing. So it's like we all talk.
That's true.
So I'm just like, fuck. What do we, like? It's just gonna like, is it gonna feel all like fake? Like, so what have you been up to these days?
It's like, bitch, I saw you yesterday. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because if we get like a Andrew Yang on this motherfucker, then I don't know a lot about him.
Yeah.
So I can ask him a lot of questions.
That's true.
But I know almost everything about you.
It's one of those things where it's like hard to write for yourself or something that's so close.
Yeah.
Because you can't be creative because you already know everything about it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, oh, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I do have a question, and I don't think I've ever really talked to you about it because I think we just have our own conclusions and we just think about it on our own. But you've been on YouTube since 2007. We've been on YouTube pretty much together, and that's like 12 years.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. And how does it feel to be considered like one of the OGs of YouTube and to have seen so many cycles and algorithm changes and seen what they've done and even the type of creators and content that's promoted on there?
Man, it's been a crazy, wild ride. Like, I feel like I understand what the old people mean now when they go, back in my day. You know what I mean? Back in my day, music was pure.
Yeah.
Like, back in my day, entertainment was great. You know, like, because I feel like they're doing the same shit we did. They're just dicking around on the camera.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing like sophisticated. Like, it's not a masterpiece, but it's good entertainment, right? But then I'm over here like a bitter old man looking at him like, that's only 6 seconds, you fool.
Yeah.
But like, that's what TV people were saying about YouTubers. Like, oh, that's only a 5-minute shit video, you fool.
Yeah.
And then you're never going to be a star or some shit, right? And then I saw myself turning into that like bitter, jaded entertainer that was judging the younger generation.
How long ago, going into it was this? Like 8 years in, 5 years in?
I think I've always been it since we started. Because you remember back when we first started, it was embarrassing to be called a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted to be a YouTuber.
I always told people I was a writer because we wrote all the skits. So I was like, I'm a writer. I don't even want to say YouTuber because there's this weird stigma attached to it.
Yeah. So I think I hated YouTube ever since I started. And I hated YouTubers and all that stuff. And it was just a way to get my shit out, right? And then like the new generation I'm hearing is like, I want to be a YouTuber. Like that's one of the biggest #1 careers that a lot of kids want today. And I'm like, why? That's so lame. Yeah. And
you still feel, oh, okay. And then.
Oh yeah. And then, you know, you see the newer generation, the Vine guys and all well, that's not even that new anymore because they're the top guys now, right? The Vine people that came into YouTube and then they did it. And now you have celebrities coming on to YouTube and all that. And I still think it's kind of lame.
Okay. That was my question.
They should call Vine Blink.
Blink.
Because the content is only a blink and the whole career is only a blink too.
Yeah.
Wait, so you think being on YouTube is lame?
Yeah, I'm ashamed of myself.
No, you're fucking lying. You're lying.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I think I'm not bitter about it, right? Like I like fucking around and whatnot, and YouTube has given us a lot of opportunity, freedom, a lot of awesome shit. But I think with anything, you spend enough time in it, you'll get sick of it. I'm pretty sure with fitness, y'all are sick of a lot of shit about fitness.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing about YouTube, right? Like there's pros and cons, and over the years, I think this is the thing about getting old, right? Like one thing is like you get used to what made you successful.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to learn new shit and keep growing.
Yeah.
So if things get it feels like something's getting taken away from you if you don't evolve as an artist, if you don't keep going and changing and creating new content. What ends up happening is you're like, well, I want to be rewarded for the shit that I worked hard for and stay this way. And I think that's what happens to a lot of entertainers.
Yeah, I think it's like whatever you fell in love with and what you considered sacred of that space.
Yeah.
When the space starts changing and it's not what you fell in love with or what's sacred that makes it successful anymore, that's when it starts to get sad. Like, for example, in terms with fitness, for me, I got into fitness because I always like to see how much you can push your body, right? And then how strong you can get and how it's just beneficial towards anyone's life and whatever endeavor they're doing. So that was like my big why, like why I started powerlifting. I wanted to see how far I could push my human body and I wanted to spread that message. And that was cool. I would say like the beginning of fitness, like 2013, 2012, 2014. And then you start having like more novelty things, like people squatting with the hoverboard, or people like squatting with like girls on the side, and it just
sounds like the same person you're talking about, just one person.
Hey, shout outs to Bradley Martin. I'm a big fan.
But I like watching this shit. It's funny.
It's entertainment.
No, I personally called him to his face that I believe he's the Arnold Schwarzenegger of today. Yeah, that's what Arnold did, right? Like he made fitness fun. Like he would flex at us.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
And then he would have girls hold on to it, and but what was sacred to me started to change. And now there's all these other people doing more wow factor fitness rather than the part that or just even how people view Conor McGregor. Some people like, they wished fighting was sacred. And then there's the whole drama and selling tickets part of it that some people don't like Conor. Some people love Conor that he does that. But if you're like a Bushido type of motherfucker, you're probably like, man, this motherfucker came in and changed the game and I don't like that.
What's Bushido motherfucker?
Like a warrior, like an honorable warrior kind of guy. Yeah.
And I think with YouTube also is kind of like this interesting space that you're in, because as you're growing and you're evolving, if you're not, if you don't have a team, behind you and supporting that, then it's harder to make that growth, and it's harder to also like change and like develop and stuff. But on the flip side of that is now when you do have a team and you've grown and you can make a living off of it, exploring to remain creative and do all that stuff and just grow and try different things so that you can be having fun on a hoverboard with like hot girls or whatever. That takes practice and it takes a mindset to have. But when you have a team that now depends on you, it's like you can't really do that because it's fucking slow and you have to make sure you're making the right moves that doesn't mess with like the money that you're getting.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So we're different from a lot of other YouTubers because we grown a company of like 30 people that kind of on payroll, right? Yeah. So I think like when I picture a YouTuber, even if they have a team, it's a small team. Yeah. And I mean, unless they're like BuzzFeed or like Fine Brothers or whatever, they're like a full on media company.
Yeah, I don't even consider them a YouTuber anymore.
Yeah. But if it's like a vlogger or someone alone, like they can make adjustments quick. They're all on their own, really. They might have one camera guy or whatever, So they could make adjustments on the fly, and I think a lot of them enjoy being YouTubers. Like we talked about this earlier, but people, they love like going to these events. They love socializing. Like we're really in our own empire. You know what I mean? Like we just stay in our own circle with people that we organically like. And so I'm like looking back, like 3 years. It's been 3 years, right? And we haven't really socialized, and it felt like. I recently went to that 88 Rising event. Yeah. And man, that had 30,000 fucking people.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, 30,000. And it's all
Asian.
Everyone
with black hair and brown eyes.
No, you know what's crazy though?
All Mexican.
Well, it was majority Asian, but there was a fuck ton of Mexicans, whites, and some blacks. And and to me, it was just mind blowing to see an all Asian lineup.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was like Asian Coachella. And then they did it where they had hard crazy. Fest. Yeah, like it's a sea of black heads, like black hair or whatever.
But, black heads and glasses.
Yeah,
and no one's really moving. Just kidding.
No, you're right though. No, because when we started off, like Asians were fucking shy. Yeah. And so like they were even afraid to throw their fucking hands up at a concert. Like you would go to collaboration events or any of these like Asian festivals, and there'll be a couple hundred Asian kids in the crowd, but they're really timid and wild. But then this generation, you got kids just fucking vibing out, yelling, and they had a mosh pit. Like they were energy,
Wow. Do you think they were on Molly?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised.
Asians love Molly.
I'm kidding.
There was a lot of fuck boys with vape pens though, but
Oh, that's a new thing. That
Yeah.
shit's crazy.
and then I think seeing full circle, right? So one of the biggest things that hit me was like, all right, so me, Julia, and her boyfriend Nelson, like we all snuck into the VIP where the artists are.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't VIP enough to get the fucking backstage artist shit, right? Damn. So I had to climb through these like fences and trailers, but I was
You were
determined.
climbing?
Like kind of like wiggling. But we didn't climb. We did a wiggle, all right?
Yeah.
And then we got one security
Side
guard
climb.
that didn't give a fuck, and we just walked in with purpose. And the whole point was, so Julia was like, I'm determined to meet Rich Brian. Like, I got to see him. And
Is she
I'm
a
like,
fan?
She just really wanted to see him.
That's
like,
tight.
Like her, and then also she brought her little cousin.
Yeah.
And her cousin is like a diehard fan. Like he's that generation. Like he's like 18 or 17 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then so he was mouthing to every song. And then I think she wanted to be like that good cousin
Yeah.
to like, let's get everybody there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so then we got in, and then I see my buddy. He's a jeweler, and then he actually made these like custom 88 Rising event medallions, and then he was giving it to all the artists. And then he's like,
Damn.
"Yeah," he's like, "Come on, Joe." He's like, "We're gonna go meet fucking
Rich Brian.
Yeah, Rich Brian. So then we walk up, right? And then this fool Brian, he's talking to people. He sees me. He fucking clears them out of the way,
Oh, that's so
ignores
cool.
them, and he fucking runs full speed to me, and he gives me the biggest hug, like a child. Like
That's tight.
Yeah, and then he's
I
like,
love him.
He's like, man,
so
my 13-year-old self is like fucking amazed right now.
That's awesome.
How cute.
Yeah,
What
And
a cute
it
little
felt like
boy.
I had like a fucking little nephew, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's tight.
that is sick.
Yeah, and it hit me. It was like he was a fan.
Yeah.
And now he's just like way above like us in terms of following and
Yeah.
everything. And I'm so
Yeah.
proud of this kid because
Yeah.
like we were the other generation of like Asian American entertainers that he looked up to, he was inspired by.
I wish there was like a royalty system where it's like if you look up to this person, then like it kind of trickles. You got to bring the money, you know. Like Eddie Murphy has to pay a little bit to Richard Pryor, and then like
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle has to pay a little bit to Eddie Murphy.
Like a pyramid scam and shit. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what hit me, man. That was like, oh man, like I've been out of the game. Like I've been producing content, but it's also important to do these things where we socialize. And it's
Yeah.
so weird. Like it's like, duh, but why don't I? I don't know.
But I mean, you're extroverted too. Like for me,
Yeah.
when there's too many people, I don't know, I get exhausted.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when I went to Toronto recently and I met like all of the current Asian American media people from Hudson, from Fresh Off the Boat, Simu, Phil was there. And I was able to meet Linda. It was cool to go, oh shoot, like these are like my fellow, I guess, community brothers and sisters, and I
Yeah.
have to do it. And even with me during that time, as soon as I cut out, when people were hanging out, I'm go straight back to the hotel room because I'm just not like a
I know. I had to tell you to stay.
I know.
So you're supporting him through text,
Yeah,
like
I
get
was
your
like-
ass out there right now, fucking socialize.
Yeah, basically.
Because
Yep.
I'd rather FaceTime with her and Taika.
Yeah.
Like she was giving him a bath and we're just talking and having a good time. And I was like, I'd rather be with my family than be out here.
Yeah.
But when I was there, though, I can see how important it is to kind of constantly be. Who coined this term? I don't know if it was Bobby Lee or Casey, but he calls it like the social blanket. Like there's levels of blankets, right? So like Game of Thrones, for that 10-year period, that's weaved into the social blanket of that year. And if you don't watch it, you're just out of it.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
not in like wherever society is
Yeah.
going. Like you can be this weird motherfucker, but you're not going to be included. And I was like, oh shit. Like for 3 years, I didn't really socialize. And I was kind of just left out of the blanket, even though a lot of these guys are fans of us.
Yeah.
Like when I met Kanto, Mando, even Linda, they're like, oh, cool, I've watched you guys, been a big fan for a long time. I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. Because you guys
Yeah.
are like the new generation.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was just burnt out so like hard. And I mean, I talk about this with David all the time, but I think there was a 2-year stint that we really burnt out. I think it was 2016 and 17.
Yeah.
And 2018, I was recovering. And then 2019 is when I made the realization
Yeah.
of like, oh shit, like we really overworked ourselves to the point of maybe even depression.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so when you feel that way, even if I'm an extrovert and I know these things I enjoy, I don't know. Something about it is just, I don't want to go out. Like, all I want to do is do what's comfortable. And that's like seeing you guys, seeing familiar faces.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah. And I think working on the bigger issues, like let's say there's something weighing us down, like whether it's personal problems or let's say business things that need to be dealt with now. So those things take priority, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, the restaurant's going this way, or this clothing brand's going that way, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that shit is on my mind so much where I can't go, let me just put this to the side and go to this party. Because I feel weird.
Yeah, you feel guilty. Like, why am I having a good time when all this shit's fucked up?
Yeah. Because I never looked at it as like, let me go to these events because it's good for business or it's good for my career. Because I never did that. Or just it's good
for you as a person.
That too, yeah.
You keep tying it back to business, but like, what about Joe? Just because Joe wants to just do that and unplug and like disconnect.
If I want to do that, I always looked at it as like, let's all go on a vacation with people that I already care about.
Oh, I see.
Like, why am I going to go out and meet new people when I already have people that I want to spend more time with?
Yeah, nurture our own relationships.
Yeah. So I think, I should have looked at it more like everybody needs like a break out of what their routine is. So, like you're right. Just going out and just talking without an angle, without thinking about business or anything, but also seeing that it does help you overall with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Because there is opportunity for that. There is opportunity for more just genuine friendships. And if we don't go out, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to stop this conversation because we have our first sponsor we have to introduce.
Oh, we do.
It's just such a funny place to stop.
So our first sponsor.
From depression to sponsorship.
Yeah. And this will get you, I don't know if this will get you, I can't clinically say that, but if you've been sad because you've been getting ball burn and you've been getting ingrown hairs on your testicles and your nut region.
Yo, that is some sad inducing shit.
It is. Especially when the girl goes down and she sees like 20 like red bumps or something. She's like,
I don't know if we're looking.
What's that?
I don't know if we're looking for that.
Because it's dark.
Or we're just not. I mean, the ball. At least for me, I'm not really attracted to balls, so I'm not really trying to pay attention to that.
Well, anyways, our first sponsor is Manscaped, and they are the #1 in men's below the belt grooming. And this is super important because I've used regular hair clippers before to shave my nuts. I've used even like the sideburn trimmer. And then sometimes you'll cut your nuts, you cut your testicles and you're bleeding and it hurts.
I like how he's caressing his balls while he's doing this brand deal.
No, because I was imagining.
And he's feeling it. He's going back in time.
I'm a method podcaster. And then, I've tried a razor and sometimes you nick yourself. And then when you go in the shower, it burns like crazy. So what I love about Manscaped is that it has skin safe technology so that when you use it, which I've used it, it won't nick your nuts, which is super, super important. And they even have this thing that's called, where is it? There's a like a deodorant thing that you put on. Oh, it's called the Crop Preserver. I also like their names too. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. So if you already put deodorant on your armpits, why not put it on your balls and make it fresh all the time? So if you use the code BEAW, BEAW at manscaped.com, you get 20% off plus free shipping. So you always got to use the right tools for the job and your bulbs will be really, really happy. That's 20% off with free shipping with code BEAW at manscaped.com. BEAW, manscaped.com.
Hey, and my brother texted me the other day and he was like, hey, tell Bart that Raina, his wife, says thank you because my balls are smooth now. Because I guess you gave him it? Yeah, I guess you gave him you gave it to him and he was like, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is something that's good though. I wish I had something like this in college and all that. I was getting all kinds of ingrown hairs. It would ruin it because I'll be like, oh, I got to reschedule this date because I don't know if I want to do it with this.
Yeah, and then it just hurts too.
Yep.
I don't really.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go, Manscaped.
Yeah.
So from balls to depression.
So I was just thinking while you guys were talking about balls and all that, has having a kid changed your priorities and the way that you viewed your goals?
What the fuck? You're not asking us questions.
I need to know. You know why? Okay, because
that's a good question. That's a really good question.
Because I mean, like, I think there's young man dreams and then there's old man dreams.
Oh,
or just young lady dreams or whatever, right? So like, I recently heard this podcast and they're saying that the difference in male and female motivation is guys look for significance and they're motivated by that, and women look for love and there's or the feminine, right? So there are men who have more feminine traits and they might be more motivated by love. So it's not really gender specific, but they're saying masculine and feminine motivations.
Yeah.
So in a couple, like sometimes if the female is feminine, then she will fight for love and the love of her children, the love for the family, and that is the motivator. Whereas the male, or if he's masculine, it's about the significance. What is my mark in this world? What do I change in society? Or what is my passion and my thing, right? So, and that's supposed to stay constant regardless if you have kids or not. Oh. But do you feel like that's something you guys were always motivated by? And did they change once the baby came out?
I think you should go first because I think that saw the biggest change in you. Whether that's internal or external, but like just even going from hating food to now actually cooking and enjoying food.
Yeah, I think it did change for me because I was, I guess, more masculine energy in the past. And this was even before I met Bart. I was just like really goal driven. I was very career driven. And I wasn't considering love at all. Like love wasn't even a factor in my life. And then once I got a heart and I softened up, then like now at least it's...
When did you get a heart?
When like our whole relationship was falling apart. Yeah. Like that era, 2016, when we were like on the verge of divorce.
So you didn't have a heart before then?
I didn't know what I had. I was so fucking confused. You fucking asshole. I was so confused. I don't know what I was. Yeah. Like if I have to go based on feminine or masculine, I don't know what I was. I was just this fucking mess.
Honestly, I think you were a mess though. I think you're just like not in a bad way, but I think like
I just said that. You don't have to like say, well, actually, you don't have to come in.
Fine.
Well, go ahead.
I was just confirming the mess with you, but keep going.
go ahead.
I agree. No, you were a complete mess.
No, because I think I would see you have like split things all the time where it's like, oh yeah, we should go out and do this networking thing, but I also don't get enough time with you for relationships, but I also don't have enough time with my family for relationships. But then when I'm at your family thing, maybe we should have gone to the networking thing. So I can see that it was like you're always being pulled in 12. Yeah. Like I want to be on camera because I know it builds our IG, which ties back to this. But I also don't want to be on camera.
Is there like a fluid? Is it like fluid and then can I do that?
Well,
I think it's whatever you feel. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the point that I got from the whole thing was it's not really male or female. So don't get confused. There are females with masculine motives and energy. And then it's funny you pointed that out because in the same thing, they were talking about how women they look at everything at once. They have the capacity to look at all details at once. So that's why it might be difficult to prioritize because they're noticing all the things that can go wrong, all the things that can go right. And then, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why I think guys can be very like not
linear thinking.
Yeah. So we don't really we just go, that's not important. But then they sense the danger. They sense all the things that could be wrong, but we're just like, nah, I just see the goal.
Yeah.
So yeah. Then they're quoting that's the difference between the two. And it's a biological reason too. Like one is because, the whole child rearing thing, women have to take care of the kids. So in the village or as hunter gatherers, you have to have that multitasking ability where you're looking at the kids' danger, but you could have this side conversation while you're picking berries and doing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, that's dangerous. All right. And then you can
We're
do
so
that.
badass.
There's no way I could do that.
I love it. No, oh my God, there's another story I got to tell you about him. But yeah, after I had a kid, like my focus became very like zeroed in, and it was 100% love. Because that's why I went from hating food to now cooking, because it's all motivated by love and like wanting to protect like my household and like develop like a little warrior.
Because love gave you purpose.
Yeah.
Right. See, that's the difference. Is the love gives the feminine energy purpose, and we need both as humans to be balanced, but one always takes over. And then so the masculine too, when women tend to be masculine, I think there's several things, and I took this from Tony Robbins, but he was saying like there's 3 things that make women masculine is 1, safety. So when they feel like in danger, like in arguments or whatever, they'll every time they're stressed, women will take over a masculine perspective or energy to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Another one is they need to feel significant. They need to be noticed. They need to feel like they exist. Attention, all that stuff. And then the third one is being heard and understood. So it's kind of similar to the attention, but the attention one is more like being noticed, like you exist, you're beautiful, you're being pursued, you're being kind of sexualized in a way. And then
desired.
Desired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the third one is to be understood and heard. So like I've been battling this forever, but it was more like you complain too much. You know, I say that to almost every girlfriend I dated with, because it's like, oh, you just want to be heard. And I never understood that, because I'm like, well, why do you complain if you don't fix your problems? But it's like, oh, they just want to be heard.
Yeah.
And it's, why is that so hard for a man to digest and just sit there and like marinate with it, you know?
Yeah.
What is it for the men, or like the masculine side?
I don't know about that, but it was more for guys to understand what, like, if you want to put your girlfriend in a more feminine energy, so she feels, you have to take care of those three things.
Gotta feel safe, understood, and appreciated.
Or like, you know, you give her that time, like, oh, hey, you're fucking beautiful today. I noticed this, or I saw you did that, or whatever. Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Feminine energy.
Yeah. I don't know if having, or maybe you could see me better, but I don't know if having a kid changed me that much. Because I think ever since I was young, I think my young man dream was to have old man dreams.
Yeah, I don't think he changed at all.
I think
I think he just got more feelings.
Yeah, I think as a young man, I've always looked at retired life, where like you do the same shit every day, like you go fishing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's dope. So whatever I can to kind of create that kind of freedom where I can just do the same shit every day, whether that's martial arts or just stupid hobbies, like that's what I wanted to do. Like when I see like a lot of those celebs, like Justin Timberlake or Dave Chappelle, and then they reach a certain point of success and they disappear for like 5 years, I'm like, that's fucking dope. And then when they look at their finances, like I got to come back out.
It's like, whoa.
I'm like, that's dope too. I want to be able to be in a place where, because I think right now, if I disappear for 5 years, if I come back, they'll be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Disappear for 5 months and they're like, who the fuck is this guy?
I think we're similar where we're like lifestyle chasers and not clout chasers.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. Like as long as I'm getting paid and I can live the way I want to, like I'm fucking happy.
Yeah.
But do I have to be the number one man in this or that? Or like, I don't care.
Yeah. For me, it's like, give me a reason to close my Instagram and I'll do it. Like if all of our investments blow the fuck up and I get these monthly checks, I'm like, peace out, world. You'll never see me again.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I think that's why we work too, because he's always, I mean, you know him, like he's always been that way. He's a very consistent person. So it was easy for me to just kind of assume my position and my role in the relationship, where it's like, okay, he's got the outside world taken care of, like the dad shit. The traditional dad shit, he's got that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now I have, like, this is my space. This is like the mom shit. Like at home, this is the domain I take care of. So it's really cool because like we know and what the fuck? We know and we respect each other's roles. Ugh.
And I think I knew, like, I think why my young man dreams were so old already was like I had such a traumatizing childhood from my perspective.
Oh, that's why you want stability.
Yeah, so I'm like, I already, like, starting when I was a kid and I saw how our household was just compared with my friends across the street or whatever. I already knew from day one, these are fuck nos that I'm never gonna get a divorce no matter what. I liked how my mom started saving for me when I was a kid. So when I went off to college, I had a college fund. So we started that with Taika like the minute he was born. So there's just a lot of things that I liked and disliked already. So by the time I was 18, I think I already had half of my old man dreams kind of like filled out. The other stuff is just like more, you don't even know about a certain lifestyle until you get there.
Yeah.
So some of those things I had to arrive at my age to know what I want to do. But a lot of my old man dreams I already been dreaming about since I was a kid.
What do you mean by like old man dreams? Just kind of like chilling and retiring and just doing hobbies and fishing or whatever, like that kind of shit.
Yeah, and being able to spend time with my kids. Like so when I wrestled, like one thing was I had to fight my dad to even to wrestle because he was like he doesn't like violence or conflict or physical contact at all. So to get him to support me was already hard. right now, Taika, I think out of all the sports I taught him, the one he loves the most is baseball, which is the one I know the least about.
Yeah.
But because I know he likes it the most, I play that with him the most.
Oh, shit.
Because I'm like,
You're trying to learn it?
I want to support him, you know, because that's what I never had. And then also like because of that, my parents never saw importance in sports. So even though when I was in wrestling, they never came to any of my games.
Yeah.
I want to go to all his games.
If you were doing a fucking mathlete event, I bet you they'll roll through though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
My mom used to force me to do these Chinese speech competitions.
Are you serious? I never heard this.
Yeah,
What is Chinese speech?
Yeah. Is it, please tell me it's like the Japanese ones where you're standing with your legs open like this and then there's a board and then you have to say something really, really fucking fast in Chinese. No. And then if you say the poem wrong, they go, Pwah!
That's like some silent library stuff.
know.
No, this was like, so there's already...
Imagine if that was real Japanese school.
That'd be tight. No wonder you guys are so smart.
You know how there's already like Chinese school, right? Like a lot of cultures have whatever school.
Yeah.
That's like usually on Saturdays.
We don't have any of that shit.
You don't know Spanish school or
No.
Mexican school?
No.
Where you learn how to dance.
It's called
and like,
catechism, I guess.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we have Chinese school, and it was every Saturday morning from like 9 to 12. So through all the way up until maybe 4th grade, maybe 5th grade, I had 6 days of school a week instead of just the regular 5. Because I had this stupid Saturday Chinese
On Sunday,
school.
you probably spent it with monks.
Probably, honestly. Yeah, probably. Either that or I'm like, or scrubbing the rust off a toaster or something.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Yeah, it was that. And, but my mom, because you know how extreme she is.
Yeah.
So when Chinese school, when they need a substitute teacher, my mom would be like, I'll do it.
Fuck no.
So she's that type of person. So even with Chinese school, she took it to the extreme. She found out about these like Chinese like speech competitions. Fuck. She entered me into it. I didn't want to do it. I'm like crying and screaming. I don't know any kid that wants to. And then so she would force like her friend to write it was supposed to be written by a child, but my Chinese level was so low. She would have someone else like interview me and write my story out.
And then you have to recite that.
Yeah, like
so she basically like cheated.
Yeah, like I had a ghostwriter. So it was pretty much like I have to tell my 7-year-old story, and you have to memorize like 3 pages worth of Chinese, and then you go up and you have to kind of perform it. And I guess that helped out with me memorizing lines later on, and with acting later on, and understanding being theatrical and stuff. But it's the
way that they do it. It's so torturous.
Yeah, you just fucking hate it so, and you have to dress up, and then you have to look so. The word is with the G. You know, you have to look so G.
Gentlemanly.
Yeah, gentlemanly. You have to look so, and you have to wear like this, like your mom dressed you, and you're just there, and you're like,
you feel like such a puppet,
bitch,
like a stupid,
and I fucking hated that shit. I don't even know why my mom liked it, but yeah.
I feel like Asians, they find a way to make something so fun and make it so they suck the fucking fun and life out of everything, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the cool part is like when you look back, you're like, oh, I'm glad that they pushed me through, because I see it, man. A lot of people that haven't been pushed through shit, they are mentally weak.
Yeah.
And I just look over and I'm like, I'm so happy.
I'm like, is that me?
I don't know. I mean, everyone has. I mean, you can hang with us, so it's different. But I'm saying like, there's just in general, there's just a lot of people that don't have mental endurance.
Yeah,
because they just weren't forced through shit.
Yeah, like the first obstacle, they quit.
Yeah, and then they're so frail, and they want it so bad, but they can't. And I'm like, oh man, you know what? My mom was gonna say I was gonna thank her one day, and I'm like, maybe there could have been a happy balance between the two.
Yeah,
because there's probably this encouragement to keep going, but at the same time, you got to make it a loving environment instead of a beaten, torturous
but it's
environment.
so hard, Joel. It's so fucking hard.
Do you try to do that to
okay,
Taika?
so Taika right now is in his fucking terrible
and you want to beat his ass?
He's a fucking shithead, and it came out of nowhere. Like, maybe there were like little signs here and there, but I mean, he's not even 2 yet.
You want to get the blood pressure thing, put it on his neck, and just goes.
Yeah.
Everyone's told me terrible twos are insane.
Fuck, I didn't know, because it's like there were like little hints, right? Like he'll cry for something, but I'm like, hey, like I'll slap my fingers. I'm like, hey, you better stop, and he'd be like, oh shit, okay. But recently, we just took him to his first gymnastics class. This one was pretty fucking cool. It was from like.
What is the second one?
The second one.
Yeah.
I guess I would count this one more because he's a little bit more coherent than the first one.
True, yeah.
But yeah, so it's I think it ranges from like 18 months to just right at 2 years. Okay, so we
It
get
actually
in.
says 3 years. I was looking at the paper.
Oh, the lady told me 2 years.
So it's too early.
Well,
could
but
be.
this is
Could
the
be.
thing. So
Yeah.
it was a class from about like maybe 10 kids. Most of them, I want to say like 90% of them were like 2 and above. And then Taika and 2 other little kids were around the same age. So they start the class. They're like warming up and like, okay, now your knees, now this. And I'm thinking, oh shit, like I don't even think Taika knows where his knees are. Okay, that's
You have
okay.
to like bend your knees, bend your fingers backwards, and you could just see Tiger go, I don't even speak English.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. Okay, so I'm like, okay, well, look, Taika, look at mama, whatever, right? And then, so he just sees all the like obstacles and shit. And he's like, he's the only one that runs and he just throws himself in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. So me and Bart were like running after him, trying to get him to
Yeah.
like stay within the class. He's the only one doing that. Okay, that's fine.
Because it's too early.
But the other kids were okay,
But they're over 2.
except for the other 2 kids.
Oh, so
Yes.
they're same
It's,
age
like,
as
mixed.
Taika?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it's like a mixed group of kids.
Okay.
He does remind me of myself though.
Fuck,
That's why
man.
it's hard for me to get mad at him because I'm like, I just see him like all the kids are here doing warm ups.
So
Yeah.
he's got ADHD energy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think it's too much structure for him. So
Yeah.
I don't blame him. So
Yeah.
this is when it really hit me. So then 30 minutes into the class, because it's a 50-minute class, 30 minutes in, he just fucking gives up.
And he cries.
He's over it. He
Yeah.
melts. He's on the floor. Like he's never done this to me publicly. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit. Okay. Well, I'm trying not to stress. So I grab him and I just move him aside to a corner where he's not distracted. And I'm like, hey, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Relax. I'm just trying to like have his energy just kind of come down. He was like this basically. And he's like, no, stop it.
They're like
Stop.
tears and sweat.
like it's the worst day of his
Yes,
life.
and I was,
Yeah.
and all the parents are like looking at me and shit, and the instructor's like not even saying anything, and she's kind of like horrified, and I'm like, bitch, this can't be like, this can't be the worst kid here. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna walk him outside, and I felt so defeated because he was just done.
Yeah.
like he was done. So I can see like if I had a very stressful job and I'm worried about money, I'm worried
punch
about
him already?
Yeah, I would have fucking choked his ass out,
Yeah.
and it would have just been easier because I'm like,
Yeah.
just shut the fuck up already. But I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because parents are watching. But it's hard. No, it really is hard because
Shit.
now all I want to do is just smack them because it's like, it's a quick fix.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
Now you know
fuck.
why we all got smacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I can't do that because how, like, he's going to turn into like really angry people, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want that. But then I'm like, how do I calm the fucking devil down?
Yeah.
He's
It's
already
hard,
angry
dude.
too.
He
He
grabs.
has rage fits.
Yeah, he's
Dude,
rage.
He
for sure.
grabs like he'll, if I tell him no, right, and
Yeah.
he'll go he'll see this corner of the table or this edge, and he starts putting his forehead on it. He smacks himself.
Bow, bow,
Yeah.
bow.
He'll
You
grab.
should just get like a sponge and put it right here, so he keep doing it.
No, man, like it's cute because you're imagining it,
Yeah.
but when you're in the moment,
I bet.
you want to grab him and slam him against the fucking
That's
wall.
why I love 2-year-olds, because they're not my kid. And when I watch it, they're the fucking best. They're so funny. But because it's not my kid. You know
You
what I
should
mean?
have seen him. So then that's, I think you had karate camp. I don't know where you were that
Yeah.
weekend of the fight. Aunt Christina come over, our friends, with their she's like 2 months younger than Taika, come over. And then Taika just sees her, fucking smacks her in the face, pushes her. And she starts crying. And we're all like, no, Taika,
He
stop.
just slaps her. And
Yeah. Yeah. He just punked her, dude.
And Taika's like double her weight. So
Why did he do that?
I
He just
don't
walked
even know.
up.
Because he's a piece of shit.
pa.
Yeah.
Or like,
So then-
or she'll come play with one of his toys. He just comes, just grabs it away from her.
Well, that, or he grabbed like a little stool. He hasn't. He fucking chucked it at her head. So I'm like, and I feel like a failed parent already
Oh,
because I'm
shit.
like, I taught this kid manners. What happened?
Well, he is 2.
I know,
So he's not gonna.
but it's hard, you know, because
He's not gonna remember any of
It
that
felt
shit.
like it came out of nowhere. Though.
Oh, like where did this aggressiveness come from?
No, I know where it came
Oh.
from, like the Quan side for sure. But
and also because he's by himself, I also kind of see him as an unsocialized puppy.
Yeah.
'Cause he's not with people his age that much.
So he doesn't know what he's allowed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's allowed to do with adults.
Because
But
he
with-
smacked all of us sometimes.
Yeah.
sorry.
But it's cute, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But, oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, but going back to your statement, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you wanna, be stern, but
Yeah.
then show them love. But like, the balance is hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking hard. It's like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
That's why if I pop out kids, I want my mom there, I want my cousins there,
That's
everybody
smart.
there, and I'm like, you deal with it.
Oh shit, you're not even gonna be there. You're gonna watch it.
Nah, I'm gonna be a traditional dad. Just fucking bring home the bacon and just like watch and be angry.
Yeah.
I want the
fuck.
same. You know why? Because I'm like, all right, I did well, so I want the same shit for my kids too.
Yeah. Yesterday we were me and Tycho were playing with the Play-Doh on the table, and then I made like a bunny because he knows how to say bunny, so I'm just making things that he knows how to say. So it was like bunny, and then I made a dog, and then I had an urge. I was like, what if I made a big fat penis? And then I was gonna show you, but then I was like, nah, he's too young for that, so I didn't make any penises.
Yeah, he'll look at us get out of the shower, and then he'll
Look at his
duck.
dick.
No, he'll look at me and he'll duck, and he goes, ew, caca, ew, and I'm like, stop looking.
Ew, caca.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. No, I think I don't know. I'd probably be involved, but I think the whole thing is like I don't want any other passions or things to think about. Like the balance to me is like if I'm gonna do it, I want to go hard.
Yeah.
I want to be like fucking in every class. I want to read like all these things and have like a parenting coach and like just be
Yeah.
a
Oh, wow.
fucking super dad, right?
Yeah.
And I would hate to feel like I'm splitting up my time, and because I want to do that 100% instead of feeling like I got all these things I still want to do.
Yeah.
So like I think going back full circle to the whole talk about this the kid thing and feel and still wanting to do stuff, like I still got young man dreams. Where
What are your young man dreams?
Yeah.
so I think like similar to you in a way where like I did grow up with a lot of instability, but it
Yeah.
was great instability. Like I had a lot of fucking fun. Like my parents were really fun. And I mean, I had the bad part too, where like they would beat my ass and make me do things. But I think they also were really into just going out and enjoying nature, playing, fishing, going to people's homes. Like
That's tight.
yeah, and it was my parents' career too. So like in order for them to get more clients, they needed to socialize. So we would have barbecues at our house and they would bring people over after like a performance, cuz my parents were musicians.
Yeah.
So like on the weekends, like my dad had like 5 different choirs that he ran, and then if they were performing afterwards, we'll all go to dinner. So it was like this, like our family company kind of thing.
Oh, fun.
That's tight. Yeah.
Recently, I found out they're both introverts. I didn't know.
Your parents?
I had no fucking clue. Yeah, my
Oh,
mom was like,
damn.
yeah, she's an introvert, dude.
So she
doesn't
hated
like-
those things.
Yeah, both of them. And then she was
Wow.
like, yeah, your dad, he loved making music at home, but he hated performing. He hated
Oh, wow.
it gave him, no matter how many years, it gave him like anxiety to just perform.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's crazy because I think I take after my grandma, because my grandma would strike conversations up with everybody.
Yeah.
Like she made a friend with the cholo in fucking
Yeah.
adult school. Like, and then she was like, yeah, I have a Spanish friend. She thought he was from Spain.
That's fucking
Yeah.
funny. He's got a fucking teardrop. Yeah, he's from Spain. He's always sad.
He supports water, precipitation.
Yo, he got jumped in adult school. My grandma fucking tried to protect his ass.
Oh,
shit.
what a stud.
I know. So like, yeah, so I think I take after her personality. And then because of that, like I want to recreate that feel, like travel a lot, move a lot. So every time we all go on trips, every time like we're always on the go, I feel like that's when I thrive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cute. So
Yeah.
that's your young man dreams?
To just travel more.
Travel, do shows, like face to face with fans. And I think the whole teaching good things in a bad way has always been really consistent throughout everything we create.
Yeah.
And I think that is my kind of motive of why I create content.
Yeah.
So I do want to write a book. I want to do other things that just brings value into people's lives, so that anything that I create, it can make them go, oh, maybe I can do it too. Or maybe we can look at life a little bit differently, because we all have all these experiences that we go through and we keep evolving. Right.
Yeah.
And I always think about how it'll suck if our fan base just kind of watches, but never takes after what we do. Because if you look at when we first started YouTube, like we were completely different people. That was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And our mentality about the world, everything was so different. Like we grew, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that our fan base grew with us. And every time they do tell us like, yeah, you helped me with my relationship and all those things, I'm like, that's cool. Community building is what I like. And I think that satisfies me more than just being a famous guy or known for my art or known for things like that. And if I do produce art, I want to make meaningful art that kind of makes people think a little bit instead of like, oh, look at that funny shit. Like I like that plus
like having substance.
Yeah. Something that kind of shakes the world and perspectives a little bit. Yeah.
That's tight.
That is tight. That's how you will always be successful and you'll never fail. Because you're not,
so.
You're definitely not chasing money, obviously, as we all know. But
I love money, girl. But yeah, I don't chase money. You're right.
I mean, you love it, but not enough to make it your number one motivator.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so that's why you'll absolutely never fail because you're constantly giving back and your main driver is that building the community and just kind of paying it forward and whatever you've learned, kind of putting it back into the universe and see how like other people can benefit from it. That's fucking tight.
Yeah.
I remember before, I forgot, it was like a year or 2 years ago, you would have this goal of like every month you wanted to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
No, I mean, ever since, well, you know, like one of the reasons why was also I was visiting Jess every year. Yeah. But I do want to bring that back. It's just, I haven't really thought about it, but that was when life was really fun.
Yeah, because I remember you were super happy back then.
Yeah, because every month it was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, oh, that month is here. I better just go to San Diego or something. And then me and my buddies would go to San Diego, do karate out there or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun. Yeah, I think I might bring that back. But I do love traveling, like, and especially our travel group. I think we traveled so much together.
Yeah.
Like, that's... I don't know. It's different because I've traveled alone, and I mean you've traveled alone. It's different.
Yeah.
Like when you don't have your pack with you.
Yeah.
It feels like we're going on tour like we used to. You know.
Yeah.
And part of me feels a little bit bad too, kind of bringing the rest of the pack along when
Like
I have
Taika?
no, you guys along.
Oh.
Because then I have this new component to bring to the group. That's this very unstable fucking atomic bomb.
Yeah. That's how I view it.
That can ruin the fucking vibes where I'm just like very like kind of apprehensive and like I have my reservations of like, do I want to bring the kid this time? Because I don't like, I know you guys aren't really like you guys are familiar with it, but you're not like really used to it.
I mean, it doesn't bother me because we went to Japan and I'm in my own world. Like, it's like, oh, well, you got Taika problems? Cool. I'm going to go over here. And then like, it doesn't make me go like, oh, why do you have to bring that fucking kid? I actually like it. Like I always tell Tiff, like bring Isaac. And if he gives you problems, give him to me. And when Taika's old enough, that'll roll too. But for me, it's always more the merrier because, you know, I'd rather have you guys there than not.
Yeah.
It's probably more stressful for you than it is for anybody around you.
Yeah, maybe we're just going like, oh, fuck, we're doing Taika Stawa.
Yeah, because when we went to Japan, he was there and it was totally fine, I think, from everyone else, you know, like, and there's plenty of people where like, we're just talking to each other and if you got to excuse yourself, you do that and you come back. And I mean, like, Aunt brought Leia and... Yeah, I think it's like it's traveling like one big family, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like it when Taika is affecting other people. Like when we're at home and he's screaming, I'm like, cool, it's within our house. He could scream all he wants. He could throw a tantrum.
Yeah.
But like if he's like in a restaurant, he's knocking someone's water over, doing whatever, I'm like, fuck, I'm so sorry. It's ruining their experience.
So it's kind of embarrassing, but also like, oh, fuck, man. Like you can't also enjoy yourselves too.
Yeah. Because I'm so worried about... Like I remember we went to go eat the teppanyaki wings. I'm like eating like this, just like watching, and I would grab like, oh, she's about to knock that over, and I'm eating, I'm like grab this and grab that, you know, like it just, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that I remember when we went to Hawaii, and I'm like just there, just focused on him because I don't want him to like affect other people.
I have a fun question. I think it's fun. For you guys who have been doing it for 12 years, the YouTube thing, and being best friends or being friends for this long, and even before you guys started the YouTube, what have you noticed changed about your guys' dynamic? Because you know how they go like, you shouldn't be doing business with friends.
Yeah.
Like, don't ever get into that.
I feel like we've been through a lot, as in like we had ups and downs, but now on my end, I feel comfortable to the point where I can tell him anything, and it's almost like family now, to where I can kind of like, I know the steps of what's going to happen. Or I can kind of almost predict him and read his mind, like in that way, right? So some of the stuff I don't even need to tell him because I know that it's going to be handled.
That's so cool.
And it's just easy to communicate because then there's less explaining.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just kind of, oh, we've been through this before. So can you do this? Okay, fine. And yeah, and then, but then I think the other part is that when you get too comfortable and too used to someone, you forget to check up. You forget to check in.
Yeah.
Oh, like emotionally?
Just like,
Or like-
everything. Like
Everything,
having
yeah.
fun, just wasting time together, or just all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, you know? Yeah, I think with that comes too much respect of each other's space. So
Oh, because you're like, we've been around each other too much. Like, let's just give each other breathers.
more like we both know how busy each other are. So we do kind of chill and whatever, but also we see each other a lot. So it's easy to go, oh, I already saw him 5 times this week. Instead of like, oh, wait, we should just kick it like
As regular people,
without
yeah.
talking about shit. But
Yeah.
we both really love working with a purpose, hanging out with a purpose.
Yeah.
So I think it fulfills that aspect of our friendship already. So I feel fulfilled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fucking so tight.
Yeah, like if we're playing basketball, if we're writing, if we're building a career,
Yeah.
I mean a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's our friendship.
Yeah.
Is work. But it's people will be like, oh, that's just business. But I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's how we thrive. That's
Yeah.
the type of people we are.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucking tight. Like you guys, like it's really been like a really dope experience and such a blessing to be in a company with you guys and kind of see how you guys handle business. Because I've never seen you guys ever yell at each other. Like I've never seen you guys ever get in a fight or yeah, you guys will have your differences and things will feel kind of like the
Like
the
tense.
air will will
like-
feel thick.
Yeah.
But it's never to the point where I'm like, oh shit, like some shit's about to go down. It's more like, okay,
yeah.
I have this difference. All right, you know what? You're more passionate about it. Go for it. I'll follow what you want. And I'm like, dude, that's so tight. Because for me, when I was coming into this whole space of like entrepreneurialism, for me, owning a business meant like a brick and mortar. Like
Yeah.
that's what I thought a business was. So then to see that like it's the YouTube space and how you guys handle it and you guys are friends and you guys are like kind of breaking all like that stigma of like friends shouldn't be, in business together because
Yeah.
that's going to end a relationship. And it never happened with you guys. Like it's such a fucking beautiful thing to witness. And I'm like, damn, y'all are badass.
I think it could have ended our friendship because what I realized recently is that the reason why people say friends and family shouldn't do business is because you get to see a person's real character when you work with them.
Yeah.
And then if you had this like, most people put their friends on a pedestal,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't want to see that. Like, you don't want to see that your mom is lazy. You don't want to see that your dad is
unorganized
stubborn
or something.
unorganized.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
You don't want to see that your best friend is hard-headed or
Yeah.
whatever, because it hurts.
Yeah.
And then the reality sucks, right? And I think the reason why our relationship worked out this is because we're both very pragmatic, and what that means is like we're truth seekers, right? And sometimes I think there's ego where we want it our way and only our way, but we're also stubborn to the point where we'll fight till the death of our ideas. And if one person might win, one person might not, but we don't take it personal and we don't carry that. Like, I never hated this guy. Like,
Yeah.
I'll hate a lot of people, but it's difficult for me to hate someone that fights for their truth or a truth.
Yeah.
So, and then I know his truth is I want the best for the business. It's never about him. So, like, even if something might come out is like he's fighting hard for this idea because he wants it a certain way, I still know that that's just Bart's truth, because overall he thinks that idea is going to be the best for the business. And it's never because he wants to be number one. It's never because he wants to be the most famous and he wants to, like other people, there's a lot of insecurities and shit like that. I never
Yeah.
get that from him.
Yeah.
It's always like, what is the best for our business? And I
Yeah.
think that is the type of friendship and business relationship everybody should strive for.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. The whole time you were saying that, it was really, really sweet. But then Bart's fucking white ass lips, man.
My
God
white lips?
damn it.
Why? Because it's ashy. It's chapped.
God damn it. Every time.
When did you get a fucking nose ring? What the fuck?
She had it for almost 2
Maybe,
weeks now.
yeah, 2 weeks.
God damn. That's how observant I am.
We had a date
funny.
like 2 weeks ago, and then during that date, she went to go get her nose and then a couple other ear piercings.
That's fucking tight. No, I do agree with what you're saying. I never really thought about that perspective. What?
No, I like how it's so engaged, and I was like, what the fuck is
that? No, yeah, that's fucking true. I never thought of that perspective of like, yeah, you really do see your friends in a different light. Like, there's some of my friends where
or
I'm
even
like,
family members too.
yeah, and my family members where I'm like, damn it, man, fuck, I can't believe I saw this shit. This sucks.
Because you wanna think that your tribe is the best, right? You don't want to think that, damn, I'm surrounded by a fucking bunch of losers, you know, like.
Yeah.
And then that's what makes people fight, I think.
Yeah.
Because and then when money gets involved, you start to see true colors. But I also think that is a great way to test if people should belong. Like, I like walking into fire, because when I walk into fire with someone and I know that we could come out of this alive, I'm like, that's the kind of person I want to be with.
Yeah.
That's true.
What's a walking into fire situation for you?
Walking into fire, I would say, is, let's say we all become bankrupt or something.
Yeah.
How do people act then? Do they run away? Do they stick together? Do they, Or we all been sued, or we all been into drama, or like, does this person run? Does this person protect? What do they do?
Yeah.
Same with like when there's company drama, do they conspire? Do they like let their mouth run and become hateful?
Which side do they choose?
Yeah. Or do they try to bring people together and say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't look at it this way?
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I'm always playing a game of Mafia with everybody. I'm looking at character. And then I test people. Like, when there's a great opportunity to test people, I do it, but not in like a fucked up way, obviously. But I give people chances to fuck up, but I also give people chances to win,
like rise above.
Yeah, and one thing I used to do was let people borrow money willingly, thinking that, and that's a great way to test character.
Yeah,
because it's like if people are always, it's on their mind, they're like, I'll get you back, I'm gonna get it, and they're keeping up with you. You can tell what kind of person that is.
Oh shit! You just reminded me. My sister owes me money.
See, now you know what kind of person she is.
This bitch said she was gonna pay me back on the 15th. She didn't even text me, bro.
Oh man, she's a week late.
Wow.
See, now you know what kind of person she is.
Yeah, I know what she is.
But also, she might be so fuck in a fucked up situation. She hasn't even had time to think about it. And then there's just, I think there's a lot of different ways where you can kind of poke at people and then see how they react.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't make them bad or good. It's just understanding their boundaries and what type of person they are.
And you get to see their truths too.
Yeah.
Without them, because I think it's like, when you do like any, like, when you go on a date, when people are presenting themselves, of course they're going to present the best versions of themselves, and they're going to talk themselves up like they're trying to sell you a new car.
Yep.
Yeah.
But nothing beats going into a little bit of shit, and then you can see who they really are without them saying it.
Oh yeah.
I just hate going into shit though.
I know it sucks, but it happens.
Yeah.
So I don't I don't manufacture shit, but
But shit's going to happen. No
It
matter
is
what.
gonna happen.
It does.
Like fucking us getting sued, me having to do the apology video. It's just like, I didn't even know shit was like, that day at JK News, it was just another day at JK News. Like we've been doing the last 7-8 years.
Yeah.
It's all jokes.
I go home, it's cool. And then I start seeing like crazy like comment hate on my IG, and I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's just a little bit more than usual. And then she starts getting it, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I get a text from Jess, and then I start getting a text from you, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then to see Jess immediately kind of strategize, okay, what do we have to do?
Yeah, she was on it.
Yeah, like this is the way for crisis control. This is what we have to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Jess really got my back. And I'm like, that's like my back and the company's back. And I'm like, that's fucking dope.
While she's threatening to leave every single time. She's like, I'm gonna fucking help you out, but this is the last time.
This is the last thing I'm doing.
Yeah, that's Jess, man. I fucking love her.
That's why you can't trust the things that she says. You gotta watch what she does.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, this girl is just fucking
I saw your fucking lips. I saw his lips go into a B.
Yeah, I know. But y'all know what I mean. It's just
beautiful lady.
If you didn't know her, you would think that she's always running from her problems.
A runaway hoe.
Yeah. But in reality, she just she threatens all that, and then she's the
like
actual far and beyond help.
Yeah. She's like a little teapot. Like she needs to blow off the steam, but she's still fucking boiling that fucking water, and it's still gonna serve you. Yeah, no,
and I like surrounding myself around people like that. You know, it's the actions that matter.
Yeah.
Like people can call me a motherfucker all they want, but if they're with me, even our haters, like some of our haters are watching every fucking video.
They're the biggest fan.
And I'm thank you for your support.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about it that keeps them watching, and they care enough to hate it. So some people be like, oh, I don't want any fucking haters. And I'm like, well, thank you for giving me attention and ads, and like, it's helping me.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I think all of it is good, man. And it's kind of awesome. And I feel blessed that we were able to not only build this family and friendship, but a career, and we all help each other like build a life with each other. And then it's literally what people dream of.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see it when you're in it. But when you're talking about it, you're like, oh, fuck, dude, this is dope. We really, from ideas, got together and made this a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, and it's just dope that everyone has the same mindset of like, yo, why don't we just all come up together? Like no one's ever like, this is my shit. I'm not going to give you anything because it's mine. Everyone's always like, oh yeah, this is what I did. You can do it too. Let's all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. You guys started it. You guys all created it. Without you guys, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, I think it's everything, you know, like everybody contributed everything. I think it might have started with us igniting the flames, but I mean, I look at it like, I don't think I could have done anything by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And the people that couldn't hang, they just fell off.
Yeah.
You know, like the crew, I mean, we've expanded and shrank and expanded and shrank, and the people that lasted the test of time were the true people that helped us grow too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's not. I think like this whole YouTube, social media, like life. I don't think it's for everyone. Yeah. It's for, even if people seem frail, they're the ones that stuck around. They're actually pretty strong on the inside.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because it's a tough life. It's also like having like your whole life be under a magnifying glass for the world, and they could say whatever you want. To be able to last this long for anybody, I think it's pretty tough.
That's true. Imagine living 12 years with someone every single day for 12 years saying they hate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they love you.
Yeah.
You're like, Mom? Is that you? Mom? Dad?
I know my parents prepared me for it. I guess that's the most grateful thing.
Oh, it's so fucking sad.
That's true. Because I mean, every day we post a video, there's people saying in the comments, this shit's dope. I love you guys. But just as much as that, there's like, I wish you die.
Yeah.
People tell you they wish that you would die.
Yeah, death threats. Just people that just say hurtful things all the time.
They'll be like, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. And I don't really give it any attention. But I think, you know, there's this trend where people are reading negative comments. I think I might do that soon. Because it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, like where you go into it and then you read them and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's pretty funny.
And I actually, I've been working on this whole thing about how to survive. Like we've been on social media for a long time, right? And one of the biggest things that I think people go through is they don't know how to deal with online negativity, right? And I think I've devised a pretty good system, and I want to create like some kind of, I don't know if it's going to be a course or something, but I want to create something based off of that.
That's
sick. Yeah.
Especially now, because normal people are all online and they're just on Facebook or anything. You don't have to be a influencer or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the
Literally
norm now.
everyone.
Like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what social media is like? It's actually like electricity.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, it's not part of the government and it's privately owned, but you have to live with it.
Yep.
And it's just, and I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy that it's a have to thing.
It's like having an address or a phone number.
Yeah.
You can't be in a hut no more.
Yeah, and you have to pay for that phone number. Like
Yeah.
you're like, if you want to be in this world, you're just forced to have certain things.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Damn. Well, it's that time of the podcast now, folks.
Ooh, already? That was
Yeah.
fast.
Where we have to give our closing thoughts.
Oh, you guys do closing thoughts?
No, not really. I just feel some shit. I just feel some shit, and then I just
wise.
All right.
Yeah.
What are your closing thoughts? Dad?
What are your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts are well, it's not about me right now. It's about Jeff.
Okay.
Do you have any closing thoughts you want to give?
Yeah, man, it's been a great wild ride with you guys, but I think it's just the beginning, man. 12 years, 12 more to go, and then 12 more to go, and just keep going till we don't have any more people to watch us. you know?
Yeah. Can you imagine though, because we're in social media, that we're 80? Hey, what's up, guys?
That's
Today,
wild.
I'm gonna get my dentures fixed, and that's like the norm for our grandparents.
That's wild.
Yeah, technology is gonna change, man. What if like we just fucking throw things up in the air and be like, all right, you know?
Yeah,
and
like,
it's like floating cameras, like drones and shit. It might be crazy, but as long as we have an audience and as long as we can kind of get together as friends and talk, I think they'll grow with us.
Yeah.
And we have 10 plus year fans, and then maybe let's make it 20 year plus fans, and then we'll all grow together.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be an awesome kind of life to have.
And you know what? And if all else fails, we can always write the coattails of our kids.
JK News Kids.
Yep. And we just live through them.
Fuck yeah. I think they're going to be successful.
All right, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.